is still a suspect and will have access to him through their U.S. counterparts. Eyewitness News attempting to reach out to his attorney for comment. We were unsuccessful up until news time. A story we are continuing to follow. Meantime, police in Grand Bahama investigating a stabbing incident leaving 2 adult males hospitalized. According to initial reports, officers were called to a business establishment on Bayshore Road in West End on Monday. It's there they found 2 men suffering from apparent stab wounds about the body. Emergency medical services responding to the scene, transporting both of those victims to hospital. Their condition now listed as stable. Investigations say the men were involved in an altercation at a business with 2 other males, reportedly relatives, during which time both victims were stabbed in the mouth and back. Investigations remain ongoing tonight. Meantime, demolition activities commencing at the Grand Lucine Resort in Grand Bahama for the construction of the MSC Beach Club. Today, teams were on the ground erecting fencing around a small portion of the property. However, teams are unsure of exactly what will go there. Eyewitness News understands that heavy machinery is scheduled to be on property as early as Saturday for the actual exercise. According to a statement from Concord Wilshire, the developers, government has entered into a heads-of agreement with nearly a year ago. This first phase, including securing the property following acquiring approval for the necessary permits. No timeline being provided for the completion of this project. Well, as you heard, demolition is set to be underway at the Grand Lucine Resort. Is a plan to build out MSC's Beach Club and other major tourism developments. Officials say the project will help revive the economy and also create jobs in the nation's second city. Eyewitness News turning to social media, posing the question tonight: do you believe this project will revitalize Freeport? Some 55% of participants voting yes, it will help to bring economic growth. Some 32% voting no. Similar promises have been made before, while some 9% voted it depends on how well this project is managed. 4% said that they were unsure. Meantime, the Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson addressing criticism from the public who are now questioning the integrity of the election process. This after a male employee at the registration department was taken into custody after allegedly distributing and being in possession of a number of fraudulent voters' cards. It's alleged that the employee, who is now facing criminal charges, was caught after a woman attempted to use the fraudulent voters' card to receive a national insurance card where she reportedly identified the Bahamian man as the individual who gave her that card. Thompson says Bahamians should not be worried, as this instance proved when illegal acts occur, they will not slip through the cracks.
The card involved in that process never made the register, so that didn't impact the registration process. There are so many protocols in place. We have the registration team that they have to go through several checks before they send it up to the computer team. They go through certain checks before things are on the register, and it's a back and forth thing. If anything is identified, it is dealt with as quickly as possible.
Meantime, an apple of discord persists between the Bahamas Union of Teachers and the Davis administration after Union President Belinda Wilson revealed that for a second time her members have rejected government's offer on salary increases and other benefits. It comes as the government's proposals continue to fall flat in quelling their concerns of educators who took action last year over salary review issues. Now it isn't clear as to what component of the government's proposal that's not sitting well with teachers. Both sides being tight-lipped on the negotiations, but government has been issued a deadline to make another counterproposal.
As a result of the survey, approximately 90% of you voted to reject the government's second financial counter proposal. 90.5% of you voted for a 3-year agreement, and the majority voted to give 3 days for the government to submit another financial counterproposal. 3 days. I've already sent the union's position to Prime Minister Davis, to the chief consultant, and the government's negotiating team. I'm awaiting their response, but please note that the 3 days for BUT to receive a revised financial counterproposal is Wednesday, April the 15th, 2026.
On the news from the political arena tonight, a range of opinions by Long Island residents on Adrian Gibson's announcement yesterday that he won't be vying to retain that seat in the upcoming general election. Our Danielle Dean on the ground in Long Island tonight. She has the details in this report.
I'm very happy that Adrian Gibson is out of the race, because to me, for the 1 year that I've been here, I didn't see no changes. Like, absolutely no changes.
Long Island residents are speaking candidly tonight about the contributions they believe F&M incumbent Adrian Gibson did or did not make during the last 9 years he held the seat. This comes after a Facebook post Monday evening in which Gibson announced his decision not to seek re-election.
Well, he was like the son of the soil, and a lot of people gravitated towards him. He was a good person.
And I guess if he didn't bail out, he would have win again.
Now, while some are sad to see the incumbent take his exit, others define the moment as one that's bittersweet as they welcome with open arms who they refer to as another son of the soil, Dr. Andre Rollins.
Mr. Rollins have a good chance to win.
Rollins himself chiming in on Gibson's announcement.
I can only say that this is a democracy. From the very beginning, I said that if Mr. Gibson were interested in running, he had every right to do so. And he's opted not to run. And so I think the most important thing is that we always remember we are in this business to advance the interests of the people who repose their confidence in us, the people who vote. Whether they vote for us or not, we have to serve all. And so I've not been preoccupied with whether or not he was going to run. That was beyond my control.
Long Islanders await a follow-up on Gibson's promise that in coming days, he will provide a record of his service over the years so that it can be properly documented for the public. Their opinions expressed just ahead of nomination day on the island Thursday, where candidates will meet at the Family Island Administrator's office in Clarencetown to kickstart their journey to the polls May 12th. Danielle Dean, Eyewitness News.
Meantime, Christian leaders firing back at the Free National Movement, strongly opposing its pledge to introduce a national lottery if elected in the May 12 general election. We spoke to President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Bishop Delton Fernando, who says the church's anti-gambling position is unchanged. It was back in 2013 when Bahamians overwhelmingly voted in a referendum against the regularization and taxation of web shops and also the establishment of a national lottery. However, the Christie administration said that referendum was non-binding and proceeded to pass legislation to legalize web shops.
That lottery is on the backs of the poor. It's a voluntary tax that is being suggested by party vying to be the government. Yes, people will choose to gamble, but it's not going to have the effect that we think it will have, because in the midst of there being a pulling of funds out of the system, it's not equally shared. The burden is not equally shared. We said no then, we say no now. Nothing has changed.
The issue has now returned to the forefront after Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard says the lottery would help to fund education, sports, youth development, social intervention, and culture. He says prizes could reach to the millions. And according to Pintard, the proceeds will not go into the consolidated fund, but would be placed in a separate legal structure that would be governed by a board.
I've been president 9 years. We saw this coming. This, same thing we say with the marijuana. The people spoke out. Now we don't even know who are addicted to gambling. We don't have any systems in place for the person who's addicted. We don't know where the funds go that are supposedly supposed to be set aside for rehabilitation and the like. We are good at creating problems, but terrible at coming up with solutions. Let's not create another problem without a solution.
Well, with Grand Bahama emerging as a key battleground, the Progressive Liberal Party bringing its full force to West End last night, where all candidates stood firm on the Davis administration's record. Our Devontae Hanna was there.
Things are finally starting to come together for Grand Bahama.
From a bold legal battle with the Grand Bahama Port Authority to leaving some agenda items unchecked, Prime Minister Philip Davis, standing on his administration's record, sending a clear message to those who flocked to West End for the party's latest rally on Monday night. The message is simple: choose progress, as explained by Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper.
We have not been perfect. We know there's more to do. We acknowledge that the rate of progress has not been fast enough for you, but we've been pushing steadily.
But even as the hundreds of PLP supporters poured to Western Grand Bahama for the rally, many waiting with bated breath for the Prime Minister to address the elephant in the room, the Grand Buchanan Resort, to which he had a very short response.
I don't talk fool. If I say it's real, it's real. Now, there's been some frustrating moments, yes, I admit that, but it's been a long time coming, but it's coming.
West End buzzing with action, with PLP supporters taking over the street, later turning it into a block party. Supporters coming from as far as the eastern tip of the island, currently being represented by Kwesi Thompson. But the PLP's candidate, Dr. Monique Pratt, says she's already offering what she described as real representation.
I have in my possession your long-awaited deeds to your crown land, and I've been given the instructions from our Prime Minister to release them to you.
Some of that land was set to be reclaimed by the Minnis administration back in 2018 to be used for the construction of the failed multi-billion-dollar Oban oil refinery in East Grand Bahama. But perhaps of all the candidates, the Minister of Grand Bahama and Pine Ridge MP with the biggest plea to voters.
Since 1997, not one single MP from Pine Ridge has been returned to Parliament. I know that history. And I am telling you tonight, Pine Ridge, that you have the power to change this. So Pine Ridge, I need you.
Accusing his F&M opponent Omar Isaacs of only showing up when the cameras are rolling, West Grand Bahamas incumbent Kingsley Smith with a message of his own.
Oh, the cut behind you gonna get. West Grand Bahama is not your playground to play tourists. It is the home of the PLP.
Devontae Hanna, Eyewitness News.
We've added another access point to make sure you're up to date with all of the latest news. Follow the Eyewitness News WhatsApp channel, scan that QR code on your screen, or visit our social media pages for a direct link. While you're there, don't forget to follow Eyewitness News on Instagram and Facebook. But if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Eye on News hotline 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas @gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, a showdown from both major political parties as they argue solutions on immigration. We've got that story tonight. And later, the Christian Council says, what are we doing about gas prices? We've got the details right after this break.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Got that crispy onions crunch, take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wild. Brioche bun soft like a cloud on this ride. Oh, let's get chicky with it. Hey. Taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so litty. Got my whole crew doing their thing. Crispy onions, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese, going off. Brioche bun, sitting pretty.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
A storied party falling apart. F&M's fleeing. Chaos, confusion, even court battles. What's happening with the F&M is sad. Divided, directionless, dysfunctional. The ones left behind won't admit it, but it's chaos inside. They say a fish rots from the head down. If Michael Pintard can't keep his own party together, how can he run an entire country?
Everyone hates a dead car battery. Why not get a battery that lasts and has a 12-month warranty and is only $64.50? Intercontinental batteries are made with German technology, compatible with Japanese, US, and European vehicles, and adapts to warm climates. All right, good to go. These batteries are high quality, affordable, innovative, and only available at AID. Visit us online or WhatsApp us at 427-0026. AID, all you really need and more.
Captain Cash & Co. viral videos have shown you using what is said to be super speed to deliver cash to citizens around the world. Can you explain this?
Those people are simply taking advantage of Cash & Go's Cash Now money lending service, our easy-to-use money lending portal.
How does it work?
Well, you simply enter your information along with a recent payslip, a picture of your ID, and then select your loan amount and the repayment term. We review it as soon as possible. And then once approved, we could have your cash delivered to your mobile wallet, or we could send it directly to a bank of your choosing. Any more questions?
No. Thanks, Cash & Go, man.
It's Captain Cash & Go.
A party of promises. Over the past 5 years, what has the PLP really done? The failed sale of the Grand Lucayan Hotel in Grand Bahama left thousands of nurses unpaid and medical facilities crumbling, drowned Bahamians in sky-high power bills, and left no path to real energy reform. Hundreds of unpaid government vendors waiting to be paid, while no bid contracts are delivered on a silver platter. And the weakest border in the region, while passports are given out like candy. Is the PLP a party of progress or promises, paid for by the Free National Movement?
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Esso, $6.58. Rubis and Shell both at $6.64 tonight. Your local prices at the pump. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, we do have this latest update tonight from the attorney of Brian Hooker, Terrell Butler. That's her client. He's indicated that he won't be participating in any interviews at this time. Instead, he says he's focused on his attention on finding his wife. Again, Hooker was released from police custody last evening. Butler says that there should there be any updates regarding the legal status of the matter or progress of that search, a formal statement will be issued, a story we continue to follow tonight. Back here in the Capitol, the Free National Movement taking its message directly to supporters here in the Southern District of New Providence over in the Golden Gates community. The party is making its push as campaigning continues ahead of the upcoming election. Our Laurencia Smith is live tonight with the latest. Laurencia?
That's right, Janae. We're here at the Golden Gates Park, just adjacent of Golden Gates Assembly for the Free National Movement first official rally here in the Capitol. This rally is under fire forward, and we will anticipate to hear from candidates in the Southern District. Now, I can tell you the crowd is starting to fill out, but according to party officials, they anticipate that the crowd will swell as the night go on. They are minded that it is a Tuesday night, so persons are still coming in from work. But I can tell you that they're ready to deliver their message to the base. As we noted, this will be a rally featuring candidates from the Southern District. So we anticipate to hear from Dr. Dwayne Sands from the Bamboo Town constituency. We anticipate to hear from Darren Henfield for South Beach, Denari Roll for Pinewood, Arinthia Kumalafe for Carmichael, Michael Folks for Golden Gate, and Rick Fox for Garden Hills. Now we know at this time the FNM is looking to get these seats back here in this area. At this time, every one of these seats belong to the Progressive Liberal Party. Now, out of all of the names that I have mentioned, there are a mixture of veterans with Dr. Sands and Mr. Henfield. And then we know Mr. Folks will be the only one who's recontesting the seat that he ran in the last general election. And the newcomers to this would be Mr. Denari Roll and Rick Fox. Now, Janelle, we know that the Free National Movement has been getting their message out there to the base. They have had a rally over in Grand Bahama launching their manifesto, outlining a number of plans that they plan to attack if they are elected as the government of the day. So we anticipate that we will hear some of those plans from that manifesto that was previously revealed to get that message out to the base. We also know that persons are anticipated to hear from the deputy leader and leader, Mr. Michael Pintard. As we noted, this is the first official rally for the party here in the capital since the bell has rung. Persons are starting to come in. We're starting to see a number of the candidates have their buses bringing in their supporters as they're waiting to hear from their candidates. Now, we know the Free National Movement have been campaigning on the fact that we work for you and not a few. That has been something that they've been campaigning on throughout this election season as it gears up. So I'm still here at the Golden Gates Park, adjacent from the Golden Gates Assembly. As we noted, that the crowd is anticipated to swell, and in about half an hour or so, the official rally will kick off here. Laurencia Smith, back to you at the desk, Shania.
Thanks so much. Our Laurencia Smith will be providing live coverage tonight. You can also tune into all of our social media pages for the latest updates. Well, amid some elevated global tensions and ongoing unpredictable changes in international energy markets, the Bahamas has seen an increase in gas prices that is now beginning to impact both consumers and businesses across the country. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation's chairman, Don Williams, sharing that Bahamians should prepare for a possible ripple effect across multiple sectors. He's advising that consumers may need to adjust their spending habits and reduce non-essential energy usage in order to help offset the impact of higher fuel costs.
So currently, as we see that a lot of the businesses have tried to keep their prices reasonably sustained at this point in time, which we highly encourage. We do expect there, as the crisis goes on globally, we do expect that some businesses may have to start increasing their prices slowly but surely, but we're currently monitoring the situation. At this time, because it's such a global issue, we're affected no matter what happens. As the saying goes, when the U.S. sneezes, we catch a cold. So we have to make sure that we are doing what we can to mitigate the necessary costs. As simple as I would encourage every household, it's not a business cost, but every household, I mean, if you can, carpool as much as possible. Let's be a little bit more intentional in the things that we do. You don't have to run errand. How do we now consolidate? How do we now lean on one another to get a lot of items done?
Williams says the chamber has been receiving suggestions from Bahamians calling for a VAT cap in response to rising prices. He notes that the chamber is actively engaging with government officials to explore measures that could help reduce its impact.
We have started negotiations with the Ministry of Finance to see how the government can put certain things in place to help to mitigate, because it's not just affecting businesses, it affects the Bahamas at large. We're discussing Nassau right now, but imagine the fallout that will happen in our family violence. That is key.
As the nation gears up for the next general election, our Rebecca Bain hitting the ground in Pinewood to get the political temperature. Here's that report.
Election day is fast approaching, with Bahamians preparing to mark their X. In the Pinewood constituency, some residents say they are ready to head to the polls, while others say they are uninterested.
I don't follow politics at all, and I don't really worry about what they do too much.
For years, residents say the constituency has been plagued by long-standing issues, with some arguing that their votes have went to waste.
The mole, the infestation of the rats, the park can't stay fixed, can't stay clean, the kids can't have no fun, the swings all tear up.
But flooding in particular continues to be the dominant concern, disrupting daily life and in some cases livelihoods.
Yeah, we had the same flooding issue forever, and they got many suggestions on how to solve it, but it's just been, not a priority, I guess.
Sometimes I just can't even get to go to work because it's be too much water sometimes.
Still, some residents believe the incumbent deserves a second term, arguing that more time is needed to address these challenges.
It doesn't make any sense. You re-electing somebody for 5 years, they have a plan, and because it's not done within that 5 years, you go and you re-elect somebody else. And when you re-elect somebody else, they have to start all over again. They have to give that person, which is Minister Miles Zaruda, a second term to continue what he have planned.
Others, however, say they are ready for new leadership, throwing their support behind Free National Movement candidate Denari Roll.
I could think of no other person that's more focused, more dedicated to the residents of Pinewood. He's driven, he's approachable, he's personable. There's no better person. He's a man of action.
And then there's a third contender, hoping third time's the charm. After previously contesting the seat under different parties, this resident believed this time could be his breakthrough.
Lincoln Bain has already won Pinewood in the last election. It was stolen from Lincoln Bain. Lincoln Bain is a man with humility. He has the fear of God in his life, and that's the main reason why I am following the Coalition of Independence and Mr. Lincoln Bain.
With no clear consensus on which way Pinewood will swing, all eyes now turn to May 12th. Rebecca Bain, Eyewitness News.
While major political parties sharpening their focus on immigration and crime as the election season intensifies, broad agreements on the need for tougher action, key policy differences are still emerging on how each party intends to tackle the issues. Linton Ritchie Jr. has the details tonight.
The social issues of immigration and crime seemingly a center campaign focus for the Progressive Liberal Party and the Free National Movement following the release of both parties' manifestos. Both parties agreeing that more needs to be done to grip the country of what political pundits and the electorate calls a, quote, immigration crisis, noting if either is selected, technology will be implemented to fight illegal migration.
Stronger maritime enforcement, biometric tracking.
We will procure a national biometric immigration system and deploy biometric e-gates.
While the FNM maintains that under a Pintard-led government, no illegal migrant would ever be granted citizenship, the PLP is promising stiffer penalties, but is yet to clearly state whether a pathway to citizenship would be completely denied.
No person or persons who enters the Bahamas illegally will ever be eligible for Bahamian citizenship.
Foreign nationals who breach our immigration laws face real consequences before they can return to this country.
With a justice system facing a mountain of backlogs acknowledged by both judicial stakeholders and successive governments, the FNM and the PLP promising to tackle this issue.
We will launch a backlog reduction court to clear outstanding cases.
We will clear the court backlogs that have let cases sit for years. Virtual hearings, digitizing case management, and building a modern forensic laboratory.
As the general election nears and both parties holding similar stances on crime and immigration, the electorate will make the call as to who should be trusted to execute. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, what's current with the Bahamas Power and Light Company, that's back tonight with a focus on the company's microgrid lunch and learn this week. The team traveled to Abaco. Here's the details.
The new energy era brings more efficient technologies, but introduces questions around direction, growth, and job security. The Microgrid Lunch and Learn series continued in Abaco, led by Executive Chairman Christina Alston, who provided clarity on microgrids, the company's path, and where team members fit within it. Electrical fitter Antonio Dean says the session gave him greater confidence moving forward.
There were a lot of concerns moving forward for the future. We didn't know how it would have rolled out. And then, of course, now the job security aspect. All right? From the information we got from the chairlady, then all of those things were laid to rest. Now we are now well aware of what is to come.
Chairlady Christina Alston brought clarity to the company's direction and reaffirmed the importance of its people empowering the future.
What we're doing here is generational work. We've changed more in the last 5 years than we've changed in the last 50 years. And so it's very important to engage your primary stakeholder, that they know what's coming, they understand why it's coming, and then they can pick up that information and they can move it to the community that they live in. These projects will last 25 years. And so that's what I'm doing, planting trees in whose shade I will never sit.
It was good to get clear insight on what's happening. It's actually opening up doors offer opportunities for upskilling to take on positions in a lot of other areas, which is truly beneficial for our staff.
As BPL continues its transition into the new energy era, its focus remains on delivering cleaner, more reliable energy while investing in the people who help to power communities nationwide. Because powering the future isn't solely about enhanced technology, it's also about empowering the team who help to make it all possible.
Also to come in Eyewitness News tonight, over 1,000 students recognized for completing Upskill Bahamas. We've got the details, but first, a check on tonight's weather forecast.
At the signing of the contracts to commence major upgrades for the airports in Staniel Key and Farmers Key, Exuma, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, and Chief Financial Officer of Rowdy Boys Construction, Jalen Knowles, gave us a glimpse of the developments to come.
Today's signing represents another important milestone in our commitment to drive progress across our archipelago, while continuing to position the Bahamas as the regional leader in aviation. On the land side, we are constructing the long-anticipated terminal building at Farmers Key, as you have heard, that will support passengers handling from flights, including the newly introduced service by Flamingo Air in May of last year. Our focus on ensuring reliable and accessible airlift for all islands remain a priority for the Ministry of Tourism Investments in Aviation, and we are seeing unprecedented growth and demand across our family islands, including the Exuma Keys. Now at Farmers Key and Staniel Key, we are building out the networks throughout the entire chain of the islands of Exuma to unlock more value for Exumians. We're ensuring that more Bahamians benefit from the success that surrounds them. So today is not just a signing of contracts, it is about unlocking potential, advancing opportunity, and driving economic growth.
Our experience with airport infrastructure is well established. In addition to Farmers Key, we also completed Black Point Airport in 2002 and the Stella Morris Airport in 2006, a facility that Bahamas Air currently utilizes while the Devon's Key Airport is being upgraded. That speaks directly to the quality and durability of our work. So when it comes to airport construction and airstrip development, we bring not only experience, but proven, long-standing results.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Bahamian ownership in fly fishing is very important. Not only does it create opportunities for Bahamians, this is our industry, so we're proud of what we do. Opportunity is important. It's the story of my life, because with the opportunities, you can chart your own course. Prime Minister Davis and his team see the opportunities by providing these grants and what it can do for our country. It's just wonderful, and I'm glad to see these ventures working so that other people can get involved. This is real. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's help ourselves.
There are a lot of new opportunities in our country. We are building an economy that includes everyone. And you chose to come to PTVI.
The best place to learn.
Expanding and updating PTVI.
It preparing me for the future to be an entrepreneur.
And this is what this is all about. We are creating more opportunities for more Bahamians, because opportunity is the key to success.
2021. Borders overrun, gang wars raging, crime out of control. 4 years later, we're stronger. More than 1,000 new police and defense force officers, new interceptors protecting our waters, record numbers repatriated, and with stronger security partnerships, tougher anti-gang laws, and shantytown crackdowns, we're tightening our grip. Stronger borders, safer streets. This fight is never.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. A red letter day for Upskill Bahamas as government officials tip their hats off to the program's inaugural group of graduates. Their completion of the program comes months after the Davis administration launched the initiative last November. At that time, officials urging Bahamians to sign up, and to date, over 12,000 residents have joined. Today, over 1,000 crossed the finish line, and Prime Minister Philip Davis commended the graduates for taking advantage of the initiative.
Upskill, the National Youth Guard, technical and financing support for entrepreneurs, DigiLearn, expanded scholarships and vocational training, record enrollment in BAMSI, expanding BTVI, the PHA Academy for Careers in Healthcare, paid apprenticeships in high-demand sectors, new opportunities in marine engineering, renewable energy, cybersecurity, and so much more. Now, the work is to make sure these pathways are not islands unto themselves. We must connect them. We must take them part, make them part of an efficient and holistic ecosystem so that training and certifications and skills are connected. We want the certificates to be recognized by employers, where skills lead to jobs, and jobs lead to careers, and careers lead to Bahamian ownership of our economy.
Also touting the success of the graduates was businessman and ambassador, His Excellency Sebastian, who Prime Minister Davis says also played a critical role in bringing Upskill Bahamas into fruition.
So today, we're not just here because of a graduation. We're here because we're looking to build a stronger Bahamas through the impact of this program. Now, graduates, let me start by saying this clearly. One of the greatest contributors to my personal success is a lifelong commitment to learning that I have. And I can, without a doubt, surely tell you that it was that was a contributor to my success. And I was ensuring that I was consistently learning the skills that were in demand. And there were moments in my journey when opportunities didn't look so obvious, where access wasn't clearly defined and the path wasn't clearly defined. And I had to make a decision. Do I wait or do I prepare? I'll be honest with you. I chose to prepare. I chose to learn, and I chose to develop skills that will position me to capture those opportunities that I couldn't even see at the time.
Well, 7 years after a major operational shift, the New Providence Ecology Park, formerly the Harold Road landfill or city dump, is now operating under a more structured and controlled waste management system, with officials crediting waste segregation, fire prevention, and infrastructure upgrades for a sustained turnaround. Our business reporter Nataria McKenzie has more in this week's edition of Inside the Boardroom.
The public remember you had a lot of fires that was contributing heavily to the environment, to the community, and it was causing a lot of problems. What NPP did was we covered that. The way we did it is we started to separate the waste that comes into the landfill.
Once plagued by frequent fires and illegal dumping, the site began its transformation after New Providence Ecology Park Limited took over operations in March 2019. Operations Manager Terrence Lord says one of the most important changes has been waste segregation, separating materials into designated areas to reduce fire risks and improve site control.
What we do, the construction and demolition debris, we separate the concrete from the metal. We repurpose the concrete by building our roads and helping us cover the landfill. The municipal solid waste goes directly into the landfill. We compact that and we cover that. When we cover the garbage, that's very important because it prevents fires, prevents odors, prevents leachate.
Lord says municipal solid waste, vegetation, construction and demolition materials and oily waste are now handled in separate streams, a move that has significantly reduced operational and environmental risks.
In the future, we intend to get gas wells in, where we extract the methane from the landfill. We tend to repurpose that to our energy, and Our stormwater system, we're going to put the top-tier stormwater systems in where we collect the water from the garbage we direct into retention ponds, and then we purpose that into the environment. So there's a lot of stuff we have in the pipeline for MPP moving forward.
On the heels of Global Recycling Day, New Providence Ecology Park recently launched its e-leaf certification program, a framework aimed at pushing Bahamian companies to meet higher standards in waste management and sustainability. Jamie Strawn, HR and Administration Manager, notes that public education remains a key focus, with outreach efforts aimed at reducing illegal dumping and increasing community involvement.
Our agenda this year and the years to come, we intend to strengthen our public presence. Our awareness, our campaign this year is very robust. We want to get into the schools, onto the airwaves, about exactly what is solid waste. We are excited about this opportunity to get into the communities, into the halls of the schools, and into the town meetings within the communities, and also onto the family islands.
The Ecology Park currently employs more than 60 people across a range of roles as it continues to expand operations.
At New Providence Ecology Park, our family consists of 65 plus Bahamians. Bahamians in so many facets of our organization: engineering, hazardous waste, operations, maintenance, project management. We are so excited to note that we also have partnership with the BDOCs, the Bahamas Correctional Department, as it relates to their residents. We believe in second chances. That's part of our mantra. Our board supports it, and empowering young Bahamians and empowering youth to know that they have a chance within any organization, but specifically solid waste. We are usually the industry that's overlooked by others, but this is a great industry to be a part of, and we're so excited to give persons opportunities to really have a career path here at New Providence Ecology Park.
Officials say that the landfill is no longer in transition, but operating under a modernized system that will continue to evolve with future investment and technology. Natario McKinsey, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Natario. Well, still to come in Eyewitness News tonight, Laurentia Smith has your latest check on sports right after this break.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Welcome back to another episode of The Movement. For generations, Potter's Key Dock has powered livelihoods without ever being powered itself. This historic marine hub has operated through ingenuity, resilience, and makeshift solutions. But today, it stands on the threshold of transformation. Well, the groundwork has officially started to electrify the Potter's Key Dock for the very first time in our nation's history. And the Ministry of Energy is calling the project a major step in modernization and sustainability. The Ministry of Energy is now laying the groundwork to electrify the dock for the very first time. And leading the charge is Energy Minister JoBeth Colby Davis, who toured the site meeting with vendors whose daily lives stand to benefit from this long-awaited upgrade.
And I think all the vendors are grateful for it because we use sometimes 4 or 5 generators a year. And we say thank you to the minister.
So today, this project means access to reliable and sustainable power to continue to grow their businesses.
The electrification project is being led by the Ministry of Energy, working alongside Bahamas Power and Light, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, and the Ministry of Works. This new system will introduce lowering operational costs and environmental impact over time.
Each individual stall will have their own dedicated meter. We are also installing spare infrastructure for the next 20, 30, even 40 years.
The Ministry of Energy is so proud to be at the forefront of this national and historic initiative, and we invite everyone to celebrate the electrification of Fortescue Dock.
Now, vendors say that more reliable electricity changes everything. But of course, the Ministry of Energy says that this project is just a part of a more elaborate plan to make the Bahamas into a more energy efficient place.
Are you better off today? Brave Davis and his cronies are. Extravagant taxpayer-funded trips, a luxury car for Philip, and hundreds of millions in no-bid contracts for their allies. But for us, gas and groceries through the roof, fat on bread basket items, healthcare broken and unaffordable, and illegal immigrants flooding our communities. While Brave Davis and his cronies keep getting ahead, we pay the price. Under the F&M, that changes, because their job is to work for you.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Lauren C. Smith. Thanks for joining us. Kicking things off in sports from the NBA. The regular season is officially in the books, and for several Bahamian standouts, the postseason is calling. His Excellency Buddy Hield and the Atlanta Hawks have locked in the number 6 seed in the Eastern Conference, finishing with a 46-36 win-loss record. In their final game of the season, Hield erupted for 31 points in just 21 minutes off the bench. Atlanta now heads to the Big Apple to face off the 3rd seed New York Knicks this Saturday in Game 1 of the first round of their matchup. Now, we're still in the East, this time with the rookie himself, VJ Edgecombe, delivering a solid performance with 9 points and 11 assists as the Philadelphia 76ers defeated the Milwaukee Bucks 126-106 in their final matchup. The Sixers are finishing with a 45-37 win-loss record, and they will enter in the play-in tournament as the number 7 seed, set to host the number 8 seed Orlando Magic on Wednesday in Philly. Now let's head on over to the West Coast. The Los Angeles Lakers closing out the regular season at 53-29, good enough for a 4th seed. The big man himself, DeAndre, finished with a strong season, recording 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks in a dominant win over the Utah Jazz in a back-to-back homer. Well, definitely stay tuned to Eyewitness Sports, as we'll be keeping you up to date with all of the highlights from the postseason. Now here, back at home, the University of the Bahamas has hired its first full-time head coach for the women's softball team. Yanya McDonald, no stranger to both the sport and the university community. She was selected for the role earlier this month. McDonald says she's excited to make history with a focus not on just building strong athletes, but developing well-rounded student athletes on and off the field. She plans to hit the ground running, recruiting talent from public and private high schools, along with current UB students across both campuses and Family Islands. Academics will also be a priority, with the emphasis on excellence in the classrooms. Now, tryouts for the current UB students are set for this Saturday, April 18th from 8 to 10 a.m., with registration beginning at 7:30 over at the Blue Hills Sporting Complex.
Coming in, hitting the ground running, from a mental aspect, from a fundamental aspect, and just being really intentional on leaders on and off the field, integrity on and off the field, discipline on and off the field. So starting in-house with local tryouts with current UB students, and then transitioning out to our UB North and our prospects in the Family Islands, and then possibly even international recruiting. So we're super excited just to see how we can build a culture of integrity and pride to Bahamingo. We believe that there's integrity on and off the field, and if that's the case, that is also integrity in your schoolwork, in your assignments, in your classwork. And UB prides themselves on building the best student from top to bottom.
Well, that's a quick look at sports at this hour. I'm Lauren C. Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Life moves fast, and the best moments happen when you get more from every connection.
Boy, life comes your way. Appreciate it.
When your world is connected, more convenience comes naturally, so you can keep moving with more freedom and less interruption. From real-time updates to everyday essentials, you stay more in sync with life. Because when time matters, more reliability keeps you one step ahead. From home to work and everywhere life takes you, our network is built for more.
Yes, we got everything secured in the cloud.
Driven by a network built for today and designed to deliver more possibilities tomorrow.
Oh, how we getting ya?
Where entertainment is more immersive.
Who's again? Hey, what's in the game?
And real-life moments come with more access instantly. This is connectivity that feels out of this world. Join the family and experience more. It's good to be alive.
We have made significant progress on the installation of the temporary causeway at the Tino Beach Bridge. The causeway, when completed, will allow all vehicle types to access Tino Island with no weight restrictions.
Since the passing of Hurricane Dorian, the Lucarian Service Company has been challenged over the past 6 years. We have had major failures within the interior parts of the island on Grand Bahama Highway that lead across to the eastern part of the island, which is the Casarina Bridge and the Sajak Cable Bridge.
In August 2023, after an inspection of the Tino Beach Bridge, there were some concerns.
And for 2 years, we've been working very closely with engineers here on island and those that are from out of Nassau as well to ensure that we had the best results going forward.
We've been exploring various options to replace the bridge to ensure that we make the best decision on the way forward for long-term sustainability. The causeway will be built by simply dumping fill into the canal. This fill will be compacted to engineering standards. After it's compacted, an asphalt top will be added. After the asphalt top is added, there will be jersey barriers and other traffic management tools to make sure pedestrians and road users are safe.
Currently, this is an emergency repair that we're doing right now.
It will allow residents on the southern side of the bridge to return to a sense of normalcy.
Bukai Service Company and Tamarind Development Company, we take the environment serious.
We want to let everybody know that an environmental study was completed.
And we are following the environmental monitoring plan that was provided.
We continue to work along with stakeholders and also with outside and exterior entities
to make sure we adhere to the plan and we are accountable.
And any concerns that they bring to the table, they are foremost addressed in an urgent and controlled manner.
Some burgers are simple. The Barbecue Crispy King, this one goes all in. Smoky barbecue sauce, crispy bacon, flame grilled beef, stacked high flavor in every bite. In Nassau, we don't do small, and we definitely don't do boring. And when morning hits, the Breakfast Barbecue Crispy King has that bam to start the day. Burger King Nassau, triple down on big flavor.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, that wraps up News this Tuesday. Coming up and Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller. It's a look at all of today's top stories. That's coming up and Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Life Worship Center presents My Best Life Now. The Experience, April 23rd and 24th. Join kingdom-minded entrepreneurs, visionaries, and leaders for 2 powerful days of impartation, strategy, and transformation.
Because I have an anointing for business. I have an anointing to even anoint people who are in business, and that they can do well according to the blessing of Abraham.
This is more than a conference. It's a divine appointment for your purpose, your business, and your future.
Bam Promotions, Spike ENT, Hennessy and Rude Boy presents Back to Basics, the 90s versus 2000s, Harvest Time Edition. Saturday, May 9th at Breezes Grounds. Breezes Grounds. Gates open from 8 p.m. until 3 a.m. The first 100 patrons are eligible to win a pair of round-trip tickets to any Bahamas Air destination. Back to Basics, 90s versus 2000s, with live performance by Chesedek. Hosted by Rika C. and Roxy Star. Music by the world immortal Stone Love.
Soul of us in memories, don't live like people do.
And Bass Odyssey.
Yes, Odyssey from Tan.
Extra Large International. Tico T. DJ Tank. Select the Tie. Select the 3D and DJ Blaze. Tickets are $30 in advance, more at the gate. Tickets sold at Purple Brew, Plantation, Halo Lashes, Hits by The Bay Restaurant and Players Lounge, Fabulous Productions, Hodges, and EventBreak.com. Sponsored by Bahamas Air, Hennessy and Rude Boy Drinks Bahamas. Hennessy reminds you to drink responsibly.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Play for fun, not for funds.
In the Bahamas, we play hard, but we live smart.
We love a little competition.
A little excitement, a little thrill.
And at Island Luck, gaming is all about entertainment.
Shared moments, celebrating the wins, and enjoying the experience.
The key is simple. Play for fun, not for funds.
When you set a budget before you start,
and know your limits, you stay in control.
And when you're in control, the game stays what it's meant to be.
Fun.
So play for fun, not for funds.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Life Worship Center presents My Best Life Now. The experience, April 23rd and 24th. Join kingdom-minded entrepreneurs, visionaries, and leaders for 2 powerful days of impartation, strategy, and transformation.
Because I have an anointing for business. I have an anointing to even anoint people who are in business, and that they can do well according to the blessing of Abraham.
This is more than a conference. It's a divine appointment for your purpose, your business, and your future.
Promotions, Spike ENT, Hennessy and Rude Boy presents Back to Basics, the 90s versus 2000s, Harvest Time Edition. Saturday, May 9th at Breezes Grounds. Breezes Grounds. Gates open from 8 p.m. until 3 a.m. The first 100 patrons are eligible to win a pair of round-trip tickets to any Bahamas Air destination. Back to Basics, 90s versus 2000s, with live performance by Chesedek. Hosted by Rika C. and Roxy Star. Music by the world immortal Stone Love.
Soul of us in memories, don't live like people do.
And Mesa DC.
Yes, DC from Stenton.
Extra Large International. Tico T. DJ Tank. Select the Tie. Select the 3D and DJ Blaze. Tickets are $30 in advance, more at the gate. Tickets sold at Purple Brew, Plantation, Halo Lashes, Hits by The Bay Restaurant and Players Lounge, Fabulous Productions, Hatches, and EventBreak.com. Sponsored by Bahamas Inn, Hennessy and Rude Boy Drinks Bahamas. Hennessy reminds you to drink responsibly.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
Don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
Your say, your vote, your choice.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Play for fun, not for funds.
In the Bahamas, we play hard.
But we live smart.
We love a little competition.
A little excitement, a little thrill.
And at Island Luck, gaming is all about entertainment.
Shared moments, celebrating the wins, and enjoying the experience.
The key is simple. Play for fun, not for funds.
When you set a budget before you start,
and know your limits, you stay in control.
And when you're in control, the game stays what it's meant to be.
Fun.
So play for fun, not for funds.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Life Worship Center presents My Best Life Now. The experience, April 23rd and 24th. Join kingdom-minded entrepreneurs, visionaries, and leaders for 2 powerful days of impartation, strategy, and transformation.
Because I have an anointing for business. I have anointing to even anoint people who are in business, and that they can do well according to the blessing of Abraham.
This is more than a conference. It's a divine appointment for your purpose, your business, and your future.
Hennessy and Rude Boy presents Back to Basics, the 90s versus 2000s Harvest Time Edition. Saturday, May 9th at Breeze's Ground. Breeze's Grounds. Gates open from 8 p.m. until 3 a.m. The first 100 patrons are eligible to win a pair of round-trip tickets to any Bahamas Air destination.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, the rally season now in high gear. Tonight, the Free National Movement is in Golden Gates at the Golden Gates Park in that constituency. We go there live. An eye on Grand Bahama after a surge in political rallies on the island. Question tonight, what's driving this renewed energy among voters in Grand Bahama? Also tonight, the youth panel joins me. We've seen the historic number of registered voters. Is this demographic responsible? My panelists say the youth voter is moving from passive listener to involved evaluators. That's right. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you tuning in this evening. The Free National Movement making and taking its movement and message directly to supporters in the Southern District of New Providence tonight. They're in the Golden Gates community and constituency. The party is making its push as campaigning continues ahead of the May 12th general election. Laurencia Smith is in Golden Gates tonight, live at the Free National Movement's rally. Laurencia, good evening to you.
That's right, Shanique. We're here at the Free National Movement rally on the Golden Gates Park, just adjacent from the Golden Gates Assembly. And Shanique, I can tell you since I've been here, the crowd as well as many of the party officials anticipate. Now, as you can hear behind me, they're rolling a promo, giving us a snapshot of some of the things that they would have highlighted at the manifesto that they unveiled on Sunday. Now, we know this is the first major rally that the party has had here in the capital since the bell was ring. And Shanique, you hear the FNMs, you hear the crowd is rallying up and they're ready to go. In this, anticipating tonight, they're supposed to hear from about 6 speakers, including Dr. Dwayne Sands from Bamboo Town, Darren Hetfield from South Beach, Denari Roll from Pinewood, Arenthio Komalafe from Carmichael, Michael Folks from Golden Gate, and Rick Fox from Garden Hills, along with the party's deputy leader Shannon O'Conright and leader Michael Pinton. They're anticipating to hear from them tonight as they deliver their message to the base. We know that the FNM has been kept.
Well, we hope that we can get Laurencia's. Guys, let me know if we need to go right back to her so she can wrap up her live drop. But that is the Free National Movement this evening on the Golden Gates Park in the Golden Gates constituency. You all know where that is, just off Carmichael, right there. And what they're doing is exactly what the Progressive Liberal Party started, I think, just Saturday evening, and that is sort of districts here in New Providence, especially having rallies and then I imagine mass rallies at larger venues as they move forward to May 12th. If we're not able to get Laurencia, of course, we will have a highlight of the rally in Golden Gates in our newscast tomorrow evening. Now, with Grand Bahama emerging as a key battleground, the PLP brought its full force to West End last night, where all candidates stood firm on the Davis administration's record. We get the highlights from Devontae Hanna.
Things are finally starting to come together for Grand Bahama.
From a bold legal battle with the Grand Bahama Port Authority to leaving some agenda items unchecked, Prime Minister Philip Davis, standing on his administration's record, sending a clear message to those who flocked to West End for the party's latest rally on Monday night. The message is simple: choose progress, as explained by Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper.
We have not been perfect. We know there's more to do. We acknowledge that the rate of progress has not been fast enough for you, but we've been pushing steadily.
But even as the hundreds of PLP supporters poured to West End Grand Bahama for the rally, many waiting with bated breath for the Prime Minister to address the elephant in the room, the Grand Buchanan Resort, to which he had a very short response.
I don't talk fool. If I say it's real, it's real. Now, there's been some frustrating moments, yes, I admit that. But it's been a long time coming. But it's coming.
West End buzzing with action, with PLP supporters taking over the street, later turning it into a block party. Supporters coming from as far as the eastern tip of the island, currently being represented by Kwesi Thompson. But the PLP's candidate, Dr. Monique Pratt, says she's already offering what she described as real representation.
I have in my possession your long-awaited deeds to your crown land, and I've been given the instructions from our Prime Minister to release them to you.
Some of that land was set to be reclaimed by the Minister administration back in 2018 to be used for the construction of the failed multi-billion-dollar Oban oil refinery in East Grand Bahama. But perhaps of all the candidates, the Minister of Grand Bahama and Pine Ridge MP with the biggest plea to voters.
Since 1997, not one single MP from Pine Ridge has been returned to Parliament. I know that history. And I am telling you tonight, Pine Ridge, that you have the power to change this. So Pine Ridge, I need you.
Accusing his FNM opponent Omar Isaacs of only showing up when the cameras are rolling, West Grand Bahamas incumbent Kingsley Smith with a message of his own.
Oh, the cut behind you gonna get. West Grand Bahama is not your playground to play tourists. It is the home of the PLP.
Devontae Hanna, Eyewitness News.
Oh, there you see it. Of course, all eyes on Grand Bahama. Certainly, we talk about hot seats. Well, the hot group of seats, right? 5 constituencies in Grand Bahama, and each of them are being highly contested. The emotions are high, the interest is high, and Grand Bahamians are excited. We have 2 gentlemen joining me now this evening, Rashad Adderley and Leland Leng from Grand Bahama. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. It's good to have you both here. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all here. Listen, what is the mood and the momentum in Grand Bahama after Saturday evening and last evening?
Good afternoon, Ms. Miller. How are you doing? Rashad Adli, also known as Josh Shiloh in the community. I can speak on behalf of the Progressive Liberal Party, and I've seen a difference on the island. I see progress. I've seen the last night was like, wow, you know what I mean? Even though we know that rallies can sometimes be tricky, I was very confident to know that many people are looking at the Progressive Liberal Party to give them a second chance.
And how about you, Leland? What's your takeaway?
So far, I can say that, especially for the Free National Movement, it's almost unbelievable that we're continuing to get, especially and there's so many persons here on the ground who are saying us as we do not at all. Don't expect to see me in shirt. Don't expect to see me out. Wait on May 12th, and you will get your. A lot of them are saying that they support our leadership, and they're excited to see a person who have the ability to bring both sides together, which is Honorable Michael Pentine.
So everyone, yes, you both are obviously with the sides that you are on are speaking favorably on the sides. But let's just take a look at Grand Bahama right now. How would you describe the mood across the wider Grand Bahama? I know there's interest. I've been hearing of the interest. What is the momentum like? What's driving this renewed momentum from increasing numbers of people, it appears, on Grand Bahama?
Well, I can speak on a personal format. I've been from east to west speaking to people daily on the ground, and we all want a better island. This island has been through so many storms, so many trials and tribulations, and right now we feel that the Prime Minister, Honorable Philip Brave Davis, is doing an excellent job. See, we have not had anything like this since the time of Sir Lyndon Pinland, and now also when we had Mr. Christie, who brought memories. Right now, we need a 2-term government. We need a 2-term government right now to show what we've started, to complete what we want to finish. See, in order to, right now, we switch a government, you put your country back 15 years. And like I tell people, we need progress. If it was the FNM in power, then we look at, we say, well, we still need the progress. We still need to move on. Investors are looking at this island as a playground for a tennis game. Well, every 5 years we're switching governments. That needs to stop. If the island really wants to grow, we need to have a 2-term government. I'll tell you this much. Leland. The plans that we have for Grand Bahama is so vivid. I would speak on behalf of Dr. Pratt in East Grand Bahama, where I'm campaigning very hard for. She has a plan out of this world. And once it comes to fruition, guess what? FNM might probably be finished next month forever.
Leland, you heard Rashad say, listen, not just Grand Bahama, but the nation needs a two-term government, a government who can, I guess, pick up and continue on progress. But what are the people in your neck of the woods saying?
Well, again, for it to be progress or for this government to earn another term, what has been completed? I mean, can we list 5 things that this current administration has brought to the table? Not things that previous governments have worked on, but 5 things that they've brought to the table that they were able to complete. And so we talk progress, but progress shows start, progress shows the journey to getting to where you want to go, and then progress shows how you're going to get there. But we don't see that from this government. We have no airport, we have no hotel. Yes, there may be works in the grounds for the hotel, but again, there's nothing that's completed, there's nothing there to show. And the issue with this government is transparency. If you have these projects, if you have so many progress, lay them on the table. Just give us the details. Then there's nothing the FNM can campaign on. But the issue is you have a ton of hot air or a ton of suggestions of projects that's going on, but there's no paperwork for it, no proof of funding. Where is that? And Grand Bahamians are not stupid. We are smart. And when you see Grand Bahama is quiet, yes, the rallies are having big attendance on both sides, but majority of the persons are staying home and waiting on the polls, and the government should be very afraid.
Rashad, you heard yes, go ahead.
Just to speak on what Brother Lang is saying, he's a good friend of mine as well. You know, when you talk about what you have done, we have completed the school, we've been sitting there for the longest. We've completed that. The administration building, the Obadiah Wilshkin building is completed. You look at having the fortitude to stand up against the Grand Bahama Port Authority that has this island stagnated from King Hattie, Bahama. Ever since St. George died, that the island of Grand Bahama has became like, oh, like what happened to us? The Philip Brave Davis came here, stood up, not for the PLPs, you know. He stood up for the Grand Bahamians. See, you got to understand that. The same politics when it comes to the people who live here in Grand Bahama, you know. Yes. I tell you, we've been through so many storms. We know what it is to stand on the line, to tote lines just to get a bag of ice. We have to remember, this is bigger than politics. We are the people who live.
And gentlemen, this is what I, gentlemen,
but if we would just look at what the things that Mr. Adderley mentioned. He mentioned the school. I don't know if he is pertaining to the McLeanstown school. And if he means that, I mean, that's a project that was a refurbishment. That wasn't something that they went and built. And to this day, it has issues. It has cracks. It has engineering issues that's going on with the school. Then he mentioned the Obadiah Wilshkin building. I mean, that's in court right now that I won't speak much to. So again, this is my point on progress. We can't tout progress.
So you're saying the progress has a little hole, little cracks in the seams. I want to ask you both about this administration's sort of position against the Port Authority or towards the Port Authority, and chief among it is in terms of bringing down the cost of electricity. How are Grand Bahamians responding to that thought and that possibility taking shape?
Well, speaking to even people that work through the power company, a lot of them are actually kind of happy to even know that, because the power company is too top heavy. When I say top heavy, all the money going to the oligarchs. It's time now that our Bahamians actually feel what's going on here. Our power bills are ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. You know, it's to be away from home all day, and you get a $400 light bill, and you ain't burning no AC at all. Like, come on, man! You're getting duty free. Basically, you're getting bunkers and things from the Buckeye terminal. Like, somebody has to make this make sense. Now, going back to you, Brother Lang, when you speak about the school, you know, we were actually school.
Let him finish, and then you will. Or Rashad, do you want him to respond to what it is he wants to respond right now?
I just want to continue what I'm saying now, because we completed 3 schools. One tomorrow at 11 o'clock, you will hear about the Swedenski school that is opened up. Okay, so for the little darlings that live on the islands, that doesn't have to come 5 o'clock every morning to come to Grand Bahama, to come to Freeport to go to school. You have the one in McLeanstown that you spoke about, saying that engineering situations. The point is, we completed that. You have another school that's been sitting up for almost 20 years. We actually completed it. So these are things that
Hold
we
on
can't
now.
just
So Leland, Rashad just pull out a ton of receipts. Rashad, pull out receipts and
I
say.
won't call that a receipt. I live in East Grand Bahama. The areas you're talking about, I live there. I live in High Rock. So I see it on a daily basis. And so you can't say receipts when I can see with my own eyes. The school sat there. The thing that is so disheartening, the previous administration left funding for the all-age school, for the new comprehensive school in High Rock. That we don't know where that funding went. We don't know. We don't see the new school. And so to tout to me now, two of the schools that were left standing, yes, had issues, yes, had damages, you decide to refurbish within a year before an election. So what was done for the past 4 or 5 years? Why not bring the new school that accommodate all of East Grand Bahama, right? And then if we're going to do it, let's do it properly. Again, these are issues that are there. I haven't seen the Swedenski school, so I won't respond to it. I will be up there tomorrow to look at it. But again, it just feels like another rush opportunity that they're trying to get done for election. And so you can't say not put politics in it when it's being done when an election is called. Come on, man.
Rashad, is it a rushed job? Is it something just to say, hey, we've done this?
No, well, I would actually say this, we live in an archipelago where you have Abaco straight to Inagua. Every island looking for the same thing. We have one set of funds coming in. So now Grand Bahama is actually getting looked upon for help to try to produce situations here. But to sit back and just say, oh, it's not only because of politics, blah, blah, blah. Do you remember this now? In 2017, we had 5 MPs for the opposition, We also had a governor general. We had a minister of finance, which happens to be a family member of mine, was Peter Turnquest, who was the deputy prime minister at that present time. Then you had the opposition, you have the candidate for East Grand Bahama, my good friend, Kwesi Thompson, who was the senator and became the minister of Grand Bahama, and nothing happened in Grand Bahama. Then we'll say, oh, the pandemic came, oh, the hurricane came. But during the pandemic, anything
Gentlemen,
you could have finished the schools.
Gentlemen, this will not be your only time. Believe me, as we wrap up this segment, I want to ask each of you, and I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question. And the question is this: in one sentence, what is the biggest issue that will decide the next general election and the outcomes in Grand Bahama, you think? Each of you. Go ahead, Leland.
Go ahead. You've been going. Just go ahead.
Brother, you can go first. I'll give you the opportunity to speak first.
Jump in quick, you all.
So here's what I would say, right? Where's the hotel? Where's the airport? Where's the mall? Where's the upgrades in Iran, right? Where's the boating? Where's the yacht industry that used to be here, the marinas? Where are these are the stuff that Grand Bahamians hold to their heart. Again, the fight with the port, the issue is the government is not transparent. So we cannot trust you to take on this battle with the port. And so Grand Bahamians are looking at the real core issues, not the glamour, not the promises, not the progress. Where's the international bazaar? These are the concerns of Grand Bahamians.
Rashad?
Yes. Now, Mr. Lang, I love everything that you said, but I'll let you know this. We are looking at all those situations you spoke of the airport, the hospital, the hotels. As you can see, a few days ago, there was a MSC purchased 20 acres from the Concord company, I think it was, for the Alukaya Hotel. So you're seeing progress there. People might say, oh, that's only talk. But let me tell you something, some action about to take place. Another thing, when you talk about there's no airport, how do you go to Nassau? How do you go to Miami? You might say there's no pre-clearance because we need an international airport that is suffice for U.S. Customs. But we still have a way to get to and fro. So let's not use those small, minute things as an excuse. Remember this now. We came in this government. When we won in 2021, we had to fix many things that was left with the prior government left. Now, it takes more than 5 years to fix a problem that was created for 10, 15 years. You know that, right? You realize that we are still suffering from the decisions that was made from the 92, 97 administration of your same government that you solely represent. Always remember something. The horse that eats first does not use the bathroom last.
The motto is whatever that, listen to me, Rashad, whatever that is, I'll tell you this, gentlemen, I will pick up with you both. I think I like y'all too. I like y'all. We'll see, y'all will be the voice of Grand Bahama, and we'll see exactly what Grand Bahama is saying through what your analysis that you each will share with us here on Beyond the Headlines. Thank you very much to Rashad Adderley and Leland Lang. Thank you both very much, gentlemen. Looking forward to our next discussion.
Good night, blessed love.
Yes, good evening to each of you. When we come back, the youth panel is here. What are they saying? I mean, just weeks out from the general election. The youth say they may actually make up the largest demographic of voters, and they have a lot to say and are paying attention to a lot. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel. And I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes your process you and entertains them 24/7.
Hello. This is Ms. Ferguson calling from the Ministry of the Environment and Natural Resources.
Environmental health?
Am I speaking with Ms. Evans?
Can I help?
We've received some complaints about mattresses, bulk waste left outside your residence.
I know nothing but no bunch of mattress. Well, the garbage I have here. I was going to carry it, you know, but I just have it here.
The garbage truck does not collect bulk waste.
Bulk waste?
We have authorized bulk waste transfer stations across New Providence where you can properly dispose of oversized items like mattresses.
I can move it. Since you say you have transfer site now?
We have one close to you right on Yamacraw Hill Road.
I can move it. I can take care of it. Yeah.
Okay, Miss Evans.
All
Thank
right,
you very
then.
much and take care.
Charlie, come help me move this mattress. I gotta go care to the transfer station. I'm moving the mattresses now. Transfer stations are located in the following constituencies: Yamacraw, South Beach, Golden Isles, Centerville, Baintown, Grantstown, and St. Barnabas.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to heal and strengthen dry skin. Aveeno, your skin stronger.
Don't let diarrhea steal your sunshine. Imodium Multi-Symptom Relief gets to work fast in just 1 hour, offering our most complete relief from diarrhea, bloating, gas, and cramps. So you can get diarrhea off your mind. Imodium. Calm the chaos of diarrhea.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice.
You better get out to vote. It's the big concert. Saturday, April 18th at the National Stadium. Just added Punchy Carlin, Ding Dong, Faye Lyons, Skinny Fabulous. Also Sweet Emily, Amy and Trey, Johnny Cake, Bloody, Sherwin Gardner, Wendy 242, El Poli, and DePaul Band. Gates open at 6 p.m. And remember, it's free admission with your voter's card. Now listen, no voter's card, no entry. Make sure log on to getoutovote.mysuncash.com to validate your voter's card in order to secure your tickets and get out to vote.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in this evening. There is a shift this election. Youth are going from passive listeners and not interested to involved evaluators this election, and they're not quiet about it. And so we're going to comb through a lot of what's been happening and said so far this election season. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, my youth panel, Tafari Gibson and Aaron Jones. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you.
Good evening, Shanique. Thank you.
Thanks, Shanique. Good evening, everyone.
It's good to have you both here. I know you all have been paying close attention to a lot that's been happening. We see the rallies have ramped up, and in fact, there is one this evening. And so let's look. Well, first of all, let's explain that historic over 200,000 registered voters, the most in the Bahamas' history. I mean, you may say, yeah, of course, because the population perhaps has grown to reflect that. But what do you all sort of like put it to? This huge increase in registered voters?
Shanique, what I put it to is young people aren't rejecting politics; they're rejecting lazy politics. We've seen over and over again that we hear from politicians and we don't see anything, but we're learning that they're not rejecting politics; they're rejecting lazy politics.
Now, Aaron, what does he mean by lazy politics, and what have you all determined? My youth panel, your friends, your groupings, your peers, as lazy politics in the Bahamas?
Shanique, I'll say this. I said it before and I'll say it again. This class of young people, this demographic of young people will not be fooled by empty promises. And that is not directed to the PLP, the FNM, or the COI. That's generally to politicians. This demographic and this class of young people will not be fooled by promises. Okay, if you have a plan, if you're promising something, what does that timeline look like? When can we expect to have it by? Who qualifies for what you're promising? How do we get access to it? We are now going beyond the mere promises and getting now deeper into how will this truly impact my life and those around me as well.
Okay, well, gentlemen, let's just look at some of the promises made. Let me hear of one that you all are. And when I say you all represent the youth vote here in the Bahamas, the youth vote and first-time voters, which you both fall under that category. So what is one promise that you've heard and it has you scratching your head like, okay, we need more information on that?
Aaron?
One promise I looked at this week, and I saw it getting a bit of traction in the headlines, was the FNM's promise to make a contribution to single mothers, right? Now, first, let me say, I think that this will be a burden off of Bahamian women, of single women. However, now we're getting into the part where we want to see how you are planning to do so. Like I said, one, people are asking who qualifies as a single mother? How can you apply to receive these contributions? Where's the money coming from? How will this affect our financial budget? Could this have negative effects? Could this cause an increase in the rise of single parent homes? And so these specific things that kind of haven't been effectively communicated with the nitty-gritty are the things that young people, not just young people even persons.
Well, we know that others are paying attention, but I wanted to just follow up with you on this. You are saying that the first-time voter and the youth voter is asking those questions about that policy position?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Shanique, I'll say this too, and this was very shocking to me. And when I made this comment a few months ago saying politicians have to get on social media and they have to consider the youth vote, last month, I made a video about Parliament being prorogued, right? A young man messaged me from a university in the United States saying that there's well over, I'm quoting the number, over 160 young people, Bahamians, at that university who wanted to know how they can register to vote before the deadline closed. And I did everything I could to put them in communication with persons in the embassy and whatever else. But I say that to say, if from that university alone, young people outside of the Bahamas were interested. I mean, he texted me like 3 days in a row, back to back. How can I register to vote? And we made it possible. I say that to say, like never yet before, young people are having a serious interest in the country, in the promises, in the policy areas, in the policy gaps. These things need to be clearly mapped out because you are now dealing with a non-ignorant generation.
Wow, now that's interesting. Tafari, what about you? Are your questions and where you hang out the same as Aaron's, or do you have another promise that you want to focus in on and need more information on?
Well, Shanique, I heard two promises. I heard that every Bahamian would get $100,000. And the next promise I heard is that they will build 3,000 homes. So I want to know, first of all, how every Bahamian get $100,000. Secondly, I want to know
let's slow down a little bit. Youth, the first time a youth voter is asking about how every Bahamian can get $100,000?
Shanique, if I hear that the Bahamas government going to give me $100,000, I interested. First of all, Bahamians at large like money. And especially young people who aren't working to get it. If I hear that the government's going to give me $100,000, I'm interested. And so the question from the young people is how, when, and where. That's the question. How, when, and where. Let me see you do this. Let me see you fulfill these promises. Shanique, we grew up in a generation of receipts. When you say you can do something, we're looking for when you're going to do it. And if you don't, we're going to remember.
Oh, quite interesting. Now, you said you also, there's a housing initiative that was announced. You're saying, I really want to know, truly, the youth vote and the first-time voter are paying attention to housing promises as well? What's driving their focus to, say, for example, a housing policy?
Well, Shanique,
let me say this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let me say this. There's a status quo that believe young people are only interested in fun and partying and whatever else. Like I said, and I'll say it again. This class of young people, we are paying attention to beyond just the rallies, to beyond just what you say on stage. We are looking at the long-term effects and how it is intended to affect the country. With that housing plan, first of all, let me say, despite opinion, I have no political affiliation, but I have to outline this policy gap, right? With this housing initiative that the opposition, the FNM, is trying to propose, I'm not knocking it, but all I'm saying is, young people, including me, we are asking, how do you intend to meet that goal, right? And some people would say the goal sounds, a bit unrealistic. And so now young people, and I'm seeing this on Facebook, young people in that middle age gap are asking, how do you intend to make this possible? Beyond just the finances, who's the employees? Who are you employing to build these houses? How fast are they going to be building? How long days are they going to be working? And these are specific questions, not just me, but I'm telling you, young people in the Bahamas are wanting to know.
Well, listen, so the FNM wasn't the only political organization making promises last week. So too was the Progressive Liberal Party. In fact, they had a major rollout last week that this show covered and provided coverage for. Did you all pay attention to any of that? And do you have questions about anything that they rolled out, which was quite a bit from several candidates?
Shanique, what I'm focused on is we're in a generation of text. We're in a generation of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And one thing that we saw happen was the Creative Influence Conference. And the main thing on the minds of some young Bahamians who are interested in this is monetization. That is the question for mostly every young Bahamian. And we saw at the conference that they discussed how Bahamians can go throughout that getting paid for the content that they make. And this is one of the promises that we want to see the government fulfill. We don't just want a conference. So you're trying to say, don't pull you together in a room and make the promise and have people excited. Timelines. Yes, because like one of the famous words of someone said, a promise is a comfort to a fool. And so, Shanique, we want to see this. Because guess what, Shanique? We're living in a generation where people in the United States are getting paid for their videos.
Listen, handsomely.
But over here, we're not making any. So that is the main thing that most of these young people are on TikTok, whether they're dancing, whether they're making skits, that's what we're focused on. That is a promise we want to see fulfilled.
Aaron, anything you paid attention to last week?
Shanique, I'll add to this as well. I found the releasing of, what do you call it? Their blueprint tracker. I found that to be a very interesting initiative. You know, we're speaking about promises and how young people are understanding how those promises are expected to be addressed, right? Personally, one of the promises they made in more recent times is to continue to invest in the performing arts. Surprisingly, there was a post going on maybe about 3 weeks ago about the old Performing Arts Center and how it's been dilapidated and broken down or whatever. But I want to invite those persons to take a look at what's happening now with Campus, the Creative and Performing Arts School. Honestly speaking, I was really shocked to see what came out of it. I spoke with some of the current students enrolled there. They're getting real non-Bahamas experience in the creative and performing arts. I mean, dedicated times and teachers and educators, and they have times for drama, and then times for singing, and then dance, and then role play, and it's a whole thing specifically for that. And so that part of the creative community is very happy, and I must say that that's a promise we're looking forward to see how they're going to continue to, you know, keep their aim going forward.
I'll tell you what I like about this youth panel. These guys, not only are they members of huge groups and private groups of whether they be first-time voters, youth voters, and even others, they are various school campuses as well and other areas, and they have their finger on the pulse, and they speak, and they're everywhere. People tell me they see you all attending every event put on by everybody to be able to get a good grasp. And then you all meet with your peers and you all discuss. And this is why I really value, and so many others as well, value what it is that you all come on the show and say. And I wanted to say that the rallies have started. Let's wrap this up with this then. The rallies have started. In fact, there's one right now this evening. What's the youth voter saying about these rallies so far?
Aaron, you go quick and I'll answer that.
I can't promise you. But Shanique, I'll say this. Young people, and I'm basing this generally off of what we see on TikTok, what we see on Instagram, what I see on WhatsApp statuses on my timeline. Young people are definitely enjoying rallies that are happening by the PLP. Not to diminish the FNM, but me personally, I've been seeing a really big drive. When it comes to young people, and they have their Hondas and their Acuras and whatever, their fresh cars decorated in the PLP attire and whatever else. So I have to be honest and say, young people are definitely.
So the momentum, that's what you're saying, that who has the momentum, you're saying. What about you, Tafari, very quickly?
I want to say that trust is loaned. In this Bahama land, trust is loaned, and it can be taken back in an instant. Charisma where you win a rally, but when you do hard work, you win a generation. So you could have as much Acuras decorated as you want. You could be playing your Big Brother Juvenile song, but let me tell you, when you deliver, when you speak, when you deliver, that's what wins a generation. We're not, Shanique, we're not undecided, we're just unconvinced. That's what I tell everyone. We're not undecided, we're just unconvinced. So we want any administration that plans to take over this country to please put forward the best foot and make it make sense.
Listen, that right there is what it is. You could have the biggest show on earth, that whatever it is. The people say, tangibles, exactly. This is what the youth vote is saying.
Last thing before I forget.
Aaron, that my signal to break has been playing. 1 second. Aaron, you're 1 second.
Oh, you're breaking up. Sorry, I was breaking up.
Yeah.
Shanique, I'll say this too. Like you said, Tafari and I attend a lot of events. We get a lot of invites. So let me say this also to the public. In this campaign and election season, you will see us to all, right? Don't label us to one. Don't label us to two. We come into all because we believe in giving everyone a fair chance. We believe in hearing what the country and the parties have to offer for the country.
Thank you so much. I thank you very much, youth panel, Tafari Gibson and Aaron Jones. Thank you both very much. Looking forward to what else you have to say. Hopefully next week we'll see exactly what you all are paying attention to, and also what other policy initiative has your attention. Thank you very much. When we come back though, listen, you all want to pull up a chair, including you guys. There is a program that's being launched for 18 to 40-year-olds, business and mentorship and funding. Yeah, that's right. It's coming up right after the break. Stay close.
Play for fun, not for funds.
In the Bahamas, we play hard, but we live smart.
We love a little competition,
a little excitement, a little thrill.
And at Idle Luck, gaming is all about entertainment.
Shared moments, celebrating the wins, and enjoying the experience.
The key is simple. Play for fun, not for funds.
When you set a budget before you start,
and know your limits, you stay in control.
And when you're in control, the game stays what it's meant to be.
Fun.
So play for fun, not for funds.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
The race to 2026 is heating up, and the nation's voice is louder than ever. Here on Beyond the Headlines, we're checking the mood, the momentum, and the message of the people. I'm Shanique Miller. Each week, we're taking the temperature of the electorate to see what's really driving the nation. Who's connecting? Who's cooling off? What issues are heating up ahead of 2026? This is Temperature Check 2026, where journalism meets the nation's heartbeat.
Has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eating well.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Well, this is a good time to be a Bahamian and to be interested in business and to have an opportunity, because if you're looking for one, I think they're starting to sort of just emerge all around us. OKX Bahamas Fintech Company Limited, in partnership with the University of the Bahamas, is doing something quite amazing and very interesting. They are launching a competition and business incubator that will provide funding and mentorship opportunities for persons 18 to 40 years old. So that's really huge. That's a great opportunity for anybody to get in wherever they are. So joining me this evening to talk more about this is Dino Cartwright, the Senior Operations Manager of Operations at OKX Bahamas FinTech. It's good to have you here. Good evening to you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to be on the headlines.
Thank you so much for having me here. And definitely, it's been a long time coming, but we are happy to share what we are doing here from OKX Bahamas and what we're looking to do in partnership with not only the University of the Bahamas, but other tertiary education institutions in country and also among our high schools to really promote not only fintech, but education and innovation. That's really what our thrust is. That's really what our focus is.
This is really so awesome. Education, innovation. Many people are interested in business, have an idea, don't know how to necessarily bring it together and kind of get it out there, or even what it takes to successfully own and operate a business. Does this course or does this program equip people to better be able to do that and successfully so that they don't start and then just fizzle away?
So definitely what happens is UB Ignite, which is on the University of the Bahamas campus in Freeport, actually has an incubator program that runs about 7 or 8 weeks every year, several times a year. And they've been having this run for several years. They have had, I'm understanding, up to 1,500 persons go through the program already. This is not really relatively known. We've seen this happening. What happened? Here's how it happened. Last year, OKX was invited to be a part of a panel, a judging panel for this UB Ignite entrepreneurship incubator. During the time that we were there, we realized that this is a grand opportunity and we would like to partner not only to help the entrepreneurship, but help with innovation. Because OKX globally, we have hired over 5,000 persons globally. The Bahamas has about 14 persons who are working here locally, but we're part of a bigger organization with 100 million users who are part of this OKX fintech ecosystem. But what we've realized is that in the Bahamas, the OKX Bahamas has been here for several years, but what we've noticed is that a lot of persons in the Bahamas don't know about fintech, don't know about this whole concept about decentralized finance, and so we're here to help to enlighten persons, educate them about what is out there. We understand that the government, both sides, we were talking politics earlier, but they are really pushing the agenda for innovation and finance and fintech and helping creators come on board. And so what we noticed when we sat last year with UB and sat on their panel is that a number of persons have brilliant ideas. They just need to know how to flesh it out.
Absolutely.
And what I often teach outside of this is that just because you're a business owner doesn't necessarily mean you're an entrepreneur. Two different mindsets, two different thought processes. And what happens is this incubator session or this incubator program that UB has, and they've been running for several years, actually helps a person with business strategy, helping to figure out how to write business plans, to learn and know about financial literacy, so you can read the numbers on your bank statements, you can read the numbers on your financial statements and help to interpret them and see what they are about. So not only are you learning how to develop your own, but also how to invest and how to read numbers in this. So this is a wonderful program, and we wanted to just join them and help to advance innovation and entrepreneurship in country.
How is it showed up and played out already over the last several years in Grand Bahama as in its incubator form?
So what we've been saying is that for particularly last year, there are persons who would sit in this incubator session, they would bring their ideas and they would flesh it out. They would get some financing and mentorship through the UB Ignite program, and then this would help them to develop their businesses. And so what we want to do is more or less help them to scale this, help them to carry it to the next level by providing this funding. As a part of it, again, we are not trying to get your business idea. We're not coming in to be a business owner with you. We're not trying to get a stake in it. We just literally try to provide two things. And I've worked with youth panels for over 2 decades. I've worked with youth policy team, worked with youth advisory, and there are two words that continually come up: access and opportunity. And so what we are doing is helping to add some funding behind this program that UB is having, and also to help with access and opportunity for young persons, particularly 18 to 40. Now, persons over 40, like me, we're like, okay, why is the cutoff so small?
Yes.
But I often tell persons, if you're over 40, you can always use this time to do succession planning. Why not team up with somebody who's under the age of 40 and over the age of 18, who's also a Bahamian citizen, who can actually put this idea together? Because it's not just for one person. If you have a team of up to 4 persons, then you can do that. Last week, or week before last, sorry, we were at the UB campus here in Nassau. A number of young persons were interested in the program. 2 days later, on April 1st, we flew over to Grand Bahama, where we were also sharing the message about what we are doing and how we can garner persons. And what we are doing now is really carrying out to the public and letting them know that we've extended the deadline to April 30th. So if you are interested in this, want to learn more about it, you can definitely go ahead and join. Now, we also want to let persons know that this is because we are a fintech-based business, because we believe in innovation, there are some markets that we are really looking to maximize. Persons are like, oh, you know, I do hair braiding, or maybe I sell peanuts, and how is it that I can get some of this access to this? So what I encourage them is, you know what, how about you add fintech to it? So why not create a platform where all of the hair braiders you know can be a part of this platform, and they can say, perchance, go ahead and say, how can we get payments to persons, or how can we ensure that you get your appointment booked? How can you pay online? How can you ensure
because that's where the rest of the world, I mean, it may sound like, what? Why do I need that for hair braiding, for example? But elsewhere in the world, that's exactly how business is being done.
Exactly. And we are here to help persons, and I just want to go quickly over the 4 markets that we are really targeting. One is the growth market. So if you have a business that really deals with driving revenue generation and economic expansion within the Bahamas, please put your idea forward. So if you have an idea and you're living on the family island, because so far we've seen that we've had over 80 persons already registered for this, and persons are coming from Nassau, they're coming from Grand Bahama, we've seen persons from Abaco, even Exuma, who are part of this program and who are interested, and they have an idea, maybe they have a product that they want to get from Exuma to Nassau, and they've got a brilliant idea on how I can take my product to my consumer who is in Nassau, and they can pay online, or they can pay virtually, and because really that is where we are headed as an economy. Secondly, if you are interested in the resilient markets, we were at Grand Bahama on earlier, and what we have found is that during natural disasters, one of the things that a lot of times electricity is down, transportation is down, but we need to get goods and services paid for. Banks are closed, so how can you get your money from the bank? And ATMs are down, how can you get your money? Well, I can go to Shanique and carry my cell phone, and I can go tap my phone, and she can get paid for what it is, and I can get goods exchanged, or we can enter some system where we can exchange goods through a contract. But of course, this is something that is done virtually. But you have an idea on this, and you just need some funding to build a platform around this. These are just examples of what we're looking at. So the second thing is, if you have anything related to sustainability or efficiency or national resilience, because again, we want to help with also national development. This isn't just trying to help fund, but how can we help to push the nation forward? How is it that we can help to advance the cause? And help
bring about the diversity in the economy.
Exactly. A lot of persons have brilliant ideas. The problem is that they don't have financing, and they may not even have collaboration. And the reason why we're doing this, the reason why, because I'm also responsible for corporate social responsibility, the reason why I wanted to go back to my home campus, UB, because I'm a proud graduate of the College of the Bahamas. What happens is I wanted to go back there because maybe there's somebody in the School of Business who has the capacity to build these business structures, but there may be somebody in the School of Nursing who has a brilliant telehealth or telemedicine idea. How can two of them come together, create an idea, and bring this forward? So it's all about collaboration. It's all about how we can get persons to think and dream together. Thirdly, the creator market. If you have ideas that monetize culture or creativity or digital content, we also have you can come. If you have an idea on how you can take your creative idea or your creative market idea and help to branch that and push that forward, then we can also invite you to come in. And then finally, the future finance market. How can we help to make money move faster? Particularly in these islands where we have a number of banks are not physically on the islands. Or we can have where persons are unbanked or underbanked, and you have an idea on how you can transfer money or how you can get money or payment for services between customers easily, then bring your idea. We can help.
And so all
to
these
fund
key
this.
areas that are that you have termed them as various markets that you're looking at developing and helping people to develop. This is what this collaboration with the University of the Bahamas will allow.
Definitely.
The creator market certainly is something that's burgeoning. I mean, people are looking to really jump in on that, take advantage of it, and explore it to where the rest of the world has taken it.
That is correct.
This is really awesome. So let's talk about it now. Once again, between 18 and 40, but don't feel left out if you're slightly over 40 or even a little bit over 40, because again, collaborative opportunities are available. Now, let's talk about applications. How can people, who qualifies first of all?
Okay, definitely if you are a Bahamian citizen or if you are a legal resident of the Bahamas, you are qualified to apply. So if you have your government issued ID, so that's your passport or your voter's card or anything like that, that is government issued and certified, you can go ahead and apply for this. And yes, so again, if you are over the age of 40, like you said,
The Verizon Media Group, home of ILTV, Paramount Systems Limited, Eyewitness News,